Hi everyone, so today I wanted to share with you some of the staples that I'm picking up week to week and how I use them. The first is this big beautiful cauliflower, and I really like cauliflower because it's so versatile and I really like to be mindful of my sugar consumption. And when I say sugar consumption, I don't only mean sodas and cakes and things that we generally think of sugar. I'm talking about anything that turns into blood sugar when it is digested. So all carbohydrates minus fiber turn into blood sugar. So with white rice, I will enjoy white rice now and again, but sometimes if I'm looking for a healthy substitute at home that is gonna elongate my blood sugar curve, give me some more fiber, give me a little bit more nutrients, a little bit more bang for my buck, this has a high vitamin C content, high vitamin K1, lots of fiber. It's gonna act as a prebiotic for the gut to feed the good gut bacteria, and it's just gonna elongate that blood sugar curve. So I really like cauliflower as a healthy substitute for white rice. Making cauliflower rice is super easy. All you have to do is you just cut this up into chunks, and you're gonna use your food processor and get the cheese grater attachment out of it, and then you just drop the cauliflower florets into the food processor. You want to make sure you wash it off and they're really dry before you put them in. Then once you have all of your riced cauliflower, you just saute it in a pan with either some coconut oil, or sometimes I like to make it really savory and use some grass-fed butter, garlic, salt, and put some fresh herbs and lemon in at the end. And you just have to saute it for about 5 to 7 minutes. The next up is sweet potato, and the reason I like sweet potato is because it's high in beta carotene, which is an antioxidant. It's relatively high in fiber for being a starchy carbohydrate, and it also is really a little bit more nutrient dense than a white potato. So how I like to prepare these is I like to chop them up into bite-sized pieces and toss them with coconut oil, about a teaspoon or 2 of cinnamon and turmeric, and some Himalayan sea salt. I don't need any sugar, they're so sweet on their own, and I just roast them in the oven about 200-220 Celsius for 30 minutes. And they're really good. The reason I like cinnamon on my sweet potatoes is it's gonna elongate and not make your blood sugar curve quite as steep. It just has those properties, which makes it a really good food to pair when you are eating a starchier carbohydrate. And then the reason I like turmeric is just because of all of the beneficial anti-inflammatory properties it has. Another really weird tip about sweet potatoes is that if you want to make a whole tray of them and have them for dinner that night, then throw them in the fridge, when they have been cooling in the fridge by the next day, they will have about 3 times as much resistant starch, which is a prebiotic fiber that's going to feed the good gut bacteria in your large intestine. And it also creates a short chain fatty acid called butyrate, which is gonna be your main energy source for your large intestine. The next staple is definitely tahini. I love tahini. I've bought the unhulled and the hulled before. The difference is the unhulled is still in its fibrous shell, and so it has a bit more fiber in it, but it does give it a slightly more bitter taste. The hulled one will be a little bit more creamier, so if you have a delicate sauce, you can use that. This time I went for the unhulled, and I use it for making sauces with roasted garlic, lemon, olive oil, salt, pepper, and I'll use it to top roasted veggies, or I'll add it into baba ganoush or hummus or something like that, but it's definitely something that's always in my fridge. So the last item is coconut cream from Absolute Organic, and I love the flavor of coconut, especially after traveling to Indonesia and Vietnam in the past month. I've really gotten onto a coconut latte phase and craving right now, and this is a really easy way to make them at home. Instead of buying the refrigerated coconut milk, which can end up being usually a lot more expensive and it's creamy, but they're using thickeners and stabilizers to keep it emulsified and to keep the consistency good. This one does separate, but what I do is I just put it in my blender, and when you blend it up, it becomes that yummy coconut milk consistency that you want. I also like that it's a BPA-free can, it's organic, and I'll use it in, recently I've been doing some lattes with it. I'll use it a few tablespoons in a smoothie to give it a creamy texture. I'll use it for a chia seed pudding, a curry, even to make cauliflower rice if I want a coconut cauliflower rice.